Hi guys, this is Jackie from techjackie.com and welcome to another video on SEO. First of all, brand to this channel, make sure you press the subscribe button below so whenever we release a new SEO video like this, you get notified. In today's SEO case studies video, I like to go through this my recent case studies. This is a case study for an automotive website, basically a car dealership website. This is a case study, written case studies. I'll leave a link in the description. You can go and read it out. But basically, this is a results after 6 months. So the website started off somewhere around here, and you can see barely getting any clicks. And after 6 months, now getting like the site's been growing consistently. It has now gone over 10,000 clicks. The numbers here is a little bit more than this screenshot, as you can see, because I wrote this first, then I created this video here. So without further ado, let's get started. First of all, let me give you a little bit of project background, what the website is all about. So the client runs a car dealership or showroom website for a specific car brand and models in Thailand here. So I'm not going to reveal the brand or the model of the cars, but it's not just cars, also other type of cars, well, like pickup trucks and all that, but all under the same brand, something like that. Very kind of specific type. You know, his goal was to rank on the first page of Google for the whenever someone search for, like, you know, car brand for sale or just car brand in general, for example, like that. And here's challenge. So the first one is the client's website was new when he came to me. So right after he completed with his website, he approached me, asked me about, you know, to help him with SEO. And as you can see here, we started off from the, you know, literally almost zero. But the client had been running a little bit of Google Ads before that, so that helped a little bit with getting the site indexed and, you know, getting a little bit of initial rankings up. But as you can see, nothing fancy there. Second is the competition there. You know, since it's like we had to compete against the official brand, right? The official vehicle brand itself, and also some of the partners of that brand as well. So there's a couple of other authority websites that are like the official partner of that website itself. So the website is a big authority website, of course. It's a brand of the car, of vehicles. But then there's also other authority partnership website, car dealerships website as well. So these are the two main challenges that we face with the campaign. Now let's dive right into what we did with the website. First of all, technical optimization. So the first step I always do is to work on the technical aspect of the website. So the website was structured in this way. So we have the home page here, and then there's, you know, some of the pages like about us, contact us. There's no blogs. So, and then there's also like the big categories, and then also another categories. So this category, this is for the car itself. So when you click into it, then you can see like cars, vehicles, different models, right? And then there's another category here which is about the cars or the vehicles tools, right? So different type of tools and, you know, accessories and all that, right? So this is another category, and then like contact us page. So not a big website, not a very complicated one, but because it's a very specific brand of a car, right? So we were not like selling all kinds of cars and all that. So very specific type, not quite a complicated type of website. So the first step was to optimize this website. And, you know, some of the things that we did in technical aspect is optimize for page speed. So the website uses Elementor, which is kind of heavy. So I needed to optimize it for better page speed, for better, faster time loading. Then we block all the unnecessary pages from getting indexed. So there were like tags pages and, you know, search results pages and all that. So these were generated because, you know, is a taxonomy type of pages here, right? Because there's categories, there are products, which are these cars, and there's like models and all that. So we had to block some of these pages out. This is also a thing you have to keep in mind. If like whatever is not necessary for you to ranking, just block them from getting indexed or just from crawling itself. We don't want any junk, any unnecessary page in Google Index, because every page in Google Index is used to calculate your overall website score. So the more garbage or unnecessary pages, low quality pages you have in Google Index, the worse your overall website will perform in terms of SEO. I mean, it doesn't mean that if you have one of a few of them and it will negatively affect your website, but let's say you're having like huge number of them, then that is when it becomes a problem, especially for such type of website like e-commerce or category type of website. You have to be careful with these type of pages. And then next, we also make sure to either merge or delete duplicate or near duplicate pages. So there were some pages on the website that were kind of near similar to each other, or some are duplicated, like duplicate categories and all that. We also again try to reduce the indexation of those pages by either merging, like combining pages together, or just simply delete them off, right? Again, the logic here is we don't want to have too many of these unnecessary pages in the index, right? Like if they're duplicated or similar, obviously we don't want them. And then we also adjust the structure and the menus of the website to be more user-friendly and accessible. So initially, the client website was built not quite good for user experience, like the menus and all that, the cars, the drop-downs, and everything were not really kind of user-friendly. So in that way, after I took over the website, I started reorganizing these aspects, make things much easier, like all the important pages, making sure that they're not like too deep in the website, and users and Googlebot can easily access them from the navigation menu and all that. Now this all depends on the type of website and all that, but the rule of thumb here is you want to make sure that all the important pages are easily accessible from the navigation menu like this. If you have drop downs, again, all the subcategories or main first level categories should also be in the drop down as well, and maybe second level category as well if you want. But this is like the rule of thumb you need to keep in mind. Next, we also move on to the on-page optimizations. So there are quite a few things that I've done here. So first, heading tags optimizations, all the headings, all the H1, H2, H3 optimizations, making sure that we have like the target keyword in the headings, in H1 especially, and then we use other relevant words as well, right? Relevant words in the headings as well. Now there's my own way of optimizing headings and all these, which I'm not going to go into detail in this video. Is like my on-page technique that I use, and which I only share with my coaching clients or the website that I work with as a service. But the rule of thumb is you have to have your main keyword in your title. If you want to rank for, let's say, men's shirt, for example, if you're doing e-commerce website, you need to have it there in your heading, especially H1 tag, and add a little bit of other relevant words, like something like clothing, for example, the word like t-shirts and all that, something relevant to your main keyword. You have to also make it there as well. H2 and H3 as well, optimize them, but rule of thumb is don't try to add too much of keyword to them. There's some kind of over optimization as well in H2 and H3, so keep in mind of adding too many keywords in these headings as well. Next, we also look at the content creation optimization. So initially the website already had some content on it. So what I did is I went back to these content and start re-optimizing them, starting adding more topics to them, start adding more new supporting content around those topics, right? So some of the things were not completed yet, so I make sure to complete them and all that, and then did all the internal link and everything. Next up, we also did keyword research. So after optimizing all the existing pages and creating all the supporting pages, I also performed some keyword research to build out more pages on the website. The goal is to build out some topical relevance about the website here, but we're not adding blogs. That's also one thing to keep in mind. I want to build a topical relevance about the service and the products, right? Not on the information side of things. Now, when it comes to topical relevance, a lot of people like to just focus on blogs. They think that having blogs will help rank their e-commerce website. They think that having blogs will help rank their local website. The thing here is they can, but to a very limited degree. You have to be building topical relevance on what you're actually providing, or what is your core theme of the website. If your core theme of the website is about selling products, then your goal is to add as many product categories and products as possible, right? Because by adding as many categories and products as possible, you're creating the topical relevance within that area, which is selling or providing service, for example. Whereas blogs, they're mostly just for giving information, which is different from what you actually provide, right? What is your core business all about? So that is what I did. I built out more secondary, tertiary categories. I added some more pages that are relevant to what the client is selling and all that, right? Like, so targeting pages which include things like vehicle models, pricing details. We also added a pricing detail tables on the website, so we added new pages on those as well. Okay, so next up, we also did sentence level optimization using semantically relevant keywords. So making sure, so we talk about content optimization. So obviously you write SEO optimized content, but the thing here is every little sentence also matters. When it comes to SEO, there's different level you can actually optimize or do your SEO. Like, obviously on a top surface level, you can say you're doing SEO content. But when you start zooming in little by little, you see that every sentence you write also needs to be optimized as well. So I make sure to use semantically relevant keywords. So in the content, I have my own tools, my own proprietary tool that I created to help basically tell me what are the important words that I need to add to the page. You can actually use on-page tools like Surface SEO, which kind of does the same thing with the process. And this technique is applied to the home page and also some of the categories and the subcategories, subpages as well. Because actually the home page is his most important page. Like when someone search for like X model, X car brand or something like that, that is where the home page will be ranking for, right? So I make sure that the home page is thoroughly optimized. Make sure to add all the relevant, semantically relevant words as possible. That will increase my on-page overall score. Besides adding all these relevant words, I also make sure to optimize for the keyword count and variation optimization as well. So like, it's not just about having the words, but it's also about having the right amount of words. So for example, the word car, I make sure to check the competitor's average. So I check the competitor's average, how many times, let's say, they use the word car, and then how many times he should be actually using this. Because use the word too much can also be over optimization. Use it too little, it can also be under optimization. So you want to try find a sweet spot here. You can use tools again like Surface SEO to do this for you, but I kind of have my own way of checking all these, so it's a little bit more manual actually. But again, it doesn't really matter. You can use tools like Surface SEO as well. It will do the work fine in this process for sure. Next up is also design refinement and connections. So once every page is designed properly and everything, I also make sure to like do the refinement and make sure that every topic is connected to each other in a very logical way. So like what I mean by this is, let's say you have a page like this, and then on your page you have a bunch of topics, right? So when you have a bunch of topics, sometimes you might add something in the middle here for decorations to make it look nicer and all that. But what you're doing here is you're breaking the connection between the topic from this to this or this to this, right? So every topic on the page is connected to each other. There has to be a logical flow or connection from one section to another. So you don't want to add any unnecessary things on the page. Every topic should be connected to each other in a very logical way. And then, and some design elements on the page also will mess up with it. So that's what I did after completing all these with the content. I also make sure to reoptimize, restructure the design a little bit, remove all the unnecessary things, shifting the topics around. Like some topics are more important than the others. I make sure to put them up right on the top. So that will tell Google exactly what I'm trying to rank for here and what this page is all about. And lastly is about internal linking. Obviously, very easy thing, but important. So you have a bunch of pages already on the website. The last thing is just to link them from one to another. So making sure that you have proper internal linking within the body of the content. So the content itself will have a link with the keyword anchor text. So you'll be linking to different pages using keywords, but obviously we will not use the same anchor text over and over again. This is kind of like my own rule. I don't like to use the same anchor text over and over again, even in the website itself, because if you use the same over and over again, that could potentially lead to a spam, right? Because Google sees you're using the same anchor text over and over again. Okay, so that's about the on page. Let's look at the off page side of thing here. So after on page is all done or almost done, I move on to the off page optimization. So the first thing is I told the clients to start building up the brand, to start running Google ads. Actually, he had been doing it before even we start SEO, but I told him to double down on Google ads, because when you actually run Google ads, what you're doing here is, number one, you're creating a brand awareness. So people start knowing more about you, then they will search more about you. When they search more about you, they'll click to you, they'll interact, they're engaged, and that is like pretty much number one ranking signal nowadays. You need to have brand signals. And number two, by running Google ads consistently, what you're doing here is you're sending positive traffic to the website. Now, traffic in of itself is also a ranking factor. Now, I just recently published a video on my channel about how I use viral traffic, basically sending like 150 to 200 visitors. So what I did here is sending 150 to 200 visitors in short amount of time to the website. So this is called viral traffic. So when you send a huge amount of visitors or people or traffic to your website in a short amount of time, you're creating this big burst of positive user signals. And what happens here is Google will also shoot you up in the ranking like pretty much instantly. I've been running this for about 2-3 years now. You can check out that video. I'll leave the link in the description. Very powerful technique to quickly rank your website. But if you just run, normal campaigns like Google ads like this consistently, it will also help feeding or giving your website that positive user signal over time as well. So that's the first thing. With running Google ads, you get two things. Number one is brand awareness, which leads to brand search and clicks. Number two is you get the traffic in of itself of giving you that positive signals. Then second, obviously, link building. We cannot skip link building or backlinks. Backlinks are still important. So after we have good on page, after we have a little bit of good branding start going up, you can see the website start going up very quickly. And then once the website is in the positive trend here, we start building backlinks. When you build links and also combine with good on page and good branding, that's when the website explodes. It's always the same thing over and over again. Now I've been doing SEO for over 5+ years, and the strategies has been always the same. Good on page, strong branding, send traffic, and then just use backlink as a cherry on the top. And that's when the overall website explodes, as you can see. For the backlinks, nothing crazy, just simple guest posts from time to time. And also I use high quality PBNs. I love PBNs. PBNs are like pretty much the best type of links you can use. Basically very powerful. You don't need a lot of them, and if you know how to use them the right way, they can be very safe. I've been using them for years now. Then yeah, nothing complicated. The reason why people complain about backlink not working is mainly because they don't have proper branding or traffic strategy in place. You need to have proper branding and proper traffic strategy in place. Otherwise, your link building is not going to work. Obviously, you need on page as a good foundation, but again, on page is probably what a lot of people have already done, but this is what they're lacking in most cases. So if you need a traffic service, check out the video and the link in the description here. And that's pretty much it. Here's the results. After 6 months, you can see the site's been exploding, and you just have to rinse and repeat over and over again the same things. And that's how SEO is. So That's all for it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. If you have any questions, if you want to know more about my coaching program, my SEO service, just reach out to me. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. That's all for it. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.